It's your man Alex, and in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my take on a $9 trimmer burst fade self haircut. So let's get right into it. So to get started with today's self haircut, I'm going to be using the T9 vintage trimmers, which I actually got off Amazon for about $9. And this self haircut tutorial was recommended to me by Sud Lee, who is one of my Instagram followers. So he needed some help with a burst fade. He also wanted me to use these trimmers in particular, so I went ahead and bought them, and let's go ahead and get started. So with this burst fade, I'm going to be using the trimmers and putting in the first guideline, basically creating like a 90-degree angle on the side and back of my head. So you'll see a perfectly horizontal line going across my head just around where my temple is, like slightly above my ear, and then the second I get toward the back of my ear, I do a vertical line going straight down. So you're literally just creating like a 90-degree angle horizontally and vertically. Okay, now for the second guideline, you're going to go in with the no guard lever open and then put in about 3/4 of an inch of a guideline on both sides of your head. So when you're creating the guidelines, your number one focus should be just to make sure that all of the guidelines that you're putting in are of the same distance. Okay, you don't want one side to be like 1/2 inch, the other side to be 1 inch. Everything needs to be 3/4 of an inch or whatever type of distance you want to put. I typically tend to do 3/4 to 1 inch, but for this burst fade, I'm doing more about 3/4 of an inch for my guidelines. So for the third guideline, I'm going in with the number 1 guard lever open, still doing the same exact thing, going up about 3/4 of an inch from the previous guideline. So notice how with all of the guidelines that I'm putting in, I'm always using it with the lever open. I'm always using the guards in sequential order as well, right? Trimmer, no guard, 1 guard, okay? And then the lever is always open when I'm putting in the guidelines, and then I'm always making each guideline 3/4 of an inch on both sides of my head so that there's no unevenness, right? I'm putting in the guidelines evenly so that my haircut doesn't look crooked. So you want to make sure you do the same exact thing and follow the same exact steps, and I'll tell you shortly once we start fading why I always use the lever open when putting in the guidelines. So now for the fourth and final guideline, I'm going to be using the number 2 guard lever open, still going up about 3/4 of an inch. Now, one thing that I like to do, just personal preference, I like to leave a little bit of hair by my part line toward the top of my head, right? I'm not going for an undercut. I'm not trying to look like Brad Pitt from Fury. I like to have a nice blend from the fade to the longer length on top. So I leave some length. And by doing so, when I'm using the number 2 guard lever open, I tend to go up at like a 90-degree angle and then kind of freehand and flick away at the same exact time, kind of leaving a little bit more hair than you normally would. So I go up the 3/4 of an inch and then I slowly fade away from my head so I don't create too hard of a line. So now step 1 of the self haircut is done. We have put in all of the different guidelines. Now we're going into step 2, which is fading out all of those guidelines. So removing the hard lines that we now see. So we're going to be starting with the no guard lever halfway, and we're just going to go up about halfway through that first hard line, and this should get rid of it by about 50%. Right? This is the softening up of the hard line. So we're not going to remove it 100%. This is just to soften it up a little bit, right? Ease into the fade, create a little bit of that gradients. And then once we soften it up by 50%, we're going to go in with the no guard lever closed. So we're just going to close the lever all the way and then use a little bit of a flick out motion, use the corners as well to fully remove that hard line. Now, remember, if you still see some hard lines, some bulky spots, don't worry, we always go back and do detail work at the end of the haircut using the thinning shears. So don't worry if you still see a little bit of a hard line or some bulky spots, we will get rid of those later. So to remove the next hard line, I'm going to be using the half guard lever closed, and this should get rid of the hard line pretty much completely. Now, the reason why I said earlier I use the lever open when I put in the guidelines is because when you're fading, you can always adjust the lever down, but you can never adjust the lever up when you're putting in the guidelines. So when you're fading, you can always go from lever closed to lever halfway to lever open, but you can never go beyond closed because closed is as closed as it gets. So that's why I put in all the guidelines with the lever open, because I can always adjust it later when I'm using the fading guards, like the half guard or the 1.5 guard. So I always put in the guidelines lever open, and then I fade out those hard lines with the lever closed, and if I need to, I just adjust the lever slightly to lever halfway or lever open. Now for the final hard line, I'm going to be using the 1.5 guard lever closed, and I'm going to be going up and doing the same exact thing, doing a slight flick out motion, creating like a C-like motion, going in from underneath, hitting the hard line, and then flicking up and away from my head at the same exact time, right? You want to make sure you do like a scooping in and out motion, scoop in, scoop away, scoop in, scoop away. This will make sure you don't put in a hard line again accidentally by going straight up your head, all right? So you got to have that nice scooping in and scooping away motion, that flick out motion, going in with the clipper and then pulling away at the same time. Now remember, we're not trying to look like Brad Pitt from the movie Fury and have a massive undercut. We want to keep some hair by the part line to create a nice blend. Okay, so now I'm going in with the thinning shear over comb technique and just blending in the fade, right? The fade toward the top part into the longer length on the top of my head. So I'm just going in with the comb and the thinning shear, slowly going up with the comb as I'm slowly cutting with the thinning shears. So this is a very, very amazing way to blend in that longer length by your part line into the length on top of your head. And if you need more detailed explanations and a little bit more help learning how to cut your own hair, I have my self-haircut course, which is completely free, linked in all of my YouTube video descriptions. So step 1 was putting in all of the guidelines. Step 2 was fading out all of the hard lines that the guidelines put in. Step 3 is now doing the detail work using what I call the reverse thinning shear method, which is a method that I've coined because I've discovered it over the many years learning how to cut my own hair. It's a very, very really amazing way, for lack of better words. It's a great way to blend in all the hard lines and any bulky spots that you see within the actual fade. So what you're really doing is holding the thinning shears in reverse and point cutting directly at the fade wherever you see a hard line still and wherever you see any bulky spots. And because it's thinning shears, it doesn't cut a lot of the hair, so it's fantastic for blending and just creating an overall more gradient fade. So now that the fade is looking super fresh, we can go in and give ourselves a clean lineup. So I'm just going to be going in with my scissors. These were like $5 scissors that I got from Target probably like 15 years ago. And they are literally amazing at just being very precise and accurate at cleaning up my forehead a little bit. I would usually use trimmers if my hair was shorter, but because I've got so much hair on top, I want to take the safer route and just use my little $5 scissors, right? They're a little bit more precise and less risky. Then I move on to the vertical bars on the side of my forehead, and then of course the C cup going around my eyebrows, as you see now, with the trimmers. Now these trimmers were really cheap and they definitely showed. I felt like they tugged on my hair a little bit when in the beginning when I was putting in the first guideline. So, you know, you get your money's worth. They're $9, they do the job, but they're really not the greatest trimmers out there, even though they're selling like thousands per month on Amazon. So they're decent if you need a budget-friendly trimmer, but I really wouldn't recommend them. I'd probably spend a little bit more money for something a little bit better. And you can find a really good trimmer with a T-blade for like $30–40. So if you just spend a little bit more money, you're definitely going to get your money's worth with a better trimmer. So when it comes to the lineup on the back of your head, the mirror setup is very important, as well as how you're holding the actual trimmer in your hands. So notice how I have my fingers really close to the actual blades of the trimmer. The closer you can get your fingers to the blades, like holding it like a pencil, the better for your mobility with actually creating straight lines. And then of course the mirror setup is very important. I'll leave the mirror setup video that I have. It's a really popular video. I'll leave that linked in the card section above so you guys can check that out. Or you can just type in on YouTube the best mirror setup for self haircuts by Alex Kouras, and you can check it out there to see exactly how I position my mirrors for self haircuts. Now to style my hair, I'm going to be using what I believe is the best hairstyling product on the market. I'm a little biased because I created these products myself, but after 17 years of cutting your own hair, you learn quite a lot about hairstyling products and how most products on the market nowadays are loaded with toxic junk that are actually more damaging than helpful to your scalp and hair health. So I'm using my product called Organic Clay, which gives a more natural high hold matte finish. What I like to do is take about a pea-sized amount of product, lightly rub it between my palms until it turns creamy, and then work it evenly throughout my hair, making sure I really get it into the roots. Then I'll add a little bit more product to finish off the look and give my hair more shape, texture, and control. All three of my hairstyling products are made with the same 6 ingredients, 100% all natural and scientifically proven to support healthy hair and scalp. No petroleum, alcohol, or fake synthetic ingredients. Orders always ship within 24 hours and come with a 60-day money-back guarantee. It's completely risk-free, so if you don't love it, it's on us. And as a self-hair cutter of 17 years, I stand behind my products 100%. This is my take on a $9 trimmer burst fade self haircut. Let me know in the comments below how you think the haircut turned out and what other hairstyles you'd like me to try out next. Shout out again to Sudley for suggesting this video. I hope you and everyone else learned a lot with today's tutorial. And also make sure you leave a like, subscribe, click on the link below to check out my hair healthy styling products, and watch this video if you want to take your self haircuts to the next level.